What is up, gang? Special edition coming at you loud, coming at you excited, coming at you energized on a Monday. No more Friday live stream, just kidding. We'll be back in next Friday. We just had to do a little secret special app for the boys, for the fellas, as some pretty exciting things happened over the weekend. Some pretty fast times were done. Some pretty cool times were ahead. I got to drive it. CJ got to drive it. Arturo got to drive it. Everyone was in the shop car having fun. I went the fastest pass of my life. Super exciting, super fun. I can't wait to spend a whole lot more time getting my 300 to where the shop car is. Because, oh boy, do I want nothing more than that car again. That is so much fun, folks. So I'm going to let some people filter in. We got a lot of good questions to go over, a lot of information, a lot of people asking how do we do this? What does this do? Is this worth it? This, that, or the other. Some misinformation. We just want to clear the air, make sure everyone knows what is going on with a setup like this, because not a lot of people have been trying it recently. So since we're giving it a shot, making sure she's done, we got all the Inferino. So I'm just kind of filling for time, letting some people come in here. I miss my boys. I just want to make sure everyone can see this one. We had some fun friends make it out that weren't here. Had some people come to the track day, get some good times, bad times, decent testing, all of it. So I think, what do you say, boss? We got 11 people. You want to let some more filter in, or you think we're set? Let them filter in. You know what? In the meantime, I'm going to go get my note card with questions. I know you guys got a lot of questions, so start getting those put in here. That way we can make sure that we can get your questions answered, because boy, do we have some information. Let me go get my note card. I found my coffee. That is important. Kind of smells like garlic, yo. I'm trying to grow some garlic, folks. I'm got my green thumb going on. I got a little fish tank set up. Growing some garlic out of it. You know, reduce, reuse, recycle. And of course, we got to keep them clean, baby. They only 15s, but we keep them clean, though. So Matt's getting his little polish on. Gonna get them as shiny as these. Look at that. Gonna go blind from all that shine. So she's a fun, fast car. Yeah. We've lost people.
We lost people?
Yeah, people have left because they...
I don't know how accurate that is. Remember at the tracker showing 5 and we're getting more?
Yeah, let's hit him with a check real quick, Reno.
I'm trying to give him a couple minutes.
It does still say 8 on my phone, too. Well, so now we're down to 7. We're losing them.
Goodness.
You guys hate us.
Just abandoning us in our
You guys hate us.
Don't put me on the camera.
What up, CJ?
More people are going to leave now.
It's our best
Look,
buddy.
the number went down already.
Well, no.
No.
Oh, jeez.
Jeff's going to find out you're in here, and it's going to go right back up. It did go down.
What's up, cuteness?
Again.
Yeah, they don't like my face. I'm sorry.
Look how pretty you are. Look at that smile, baby. That smile.
Well, part of this isn't really for the live either. It's more of a... We're going to put this on YouTube as well, so that
YouTube
way...
vlogging.
Yeah, YouTube vlogging. We might switch to YouTube after this. Facebook kicks these live vlogs off, so we don't get to keep them around forever. So
the quality's not good either when it reposts it, and sometimes they just don't get reposted. We've lost quite a few good live streams.
We did. They were around forever. That's why we switched over, because they were easy to search and find. But
it works.
I think we're going to go back to YouTube Live
at the same time, and we're on episode 70 almost, if not more.
Wait.
I don't. Yeah, who knows? We didn't really
more.
think. I never thought we'd really get to this point.
Well, it looks like we're back to double digits, so we'll get going, guys. So you're going to turn around.
Yeah. Hold on, wait.
Oh, it's 30.
No, it doesn't look as good as it should. Oh, I can use my phone now because I got a good camera.
Yeah.
Guys, I finally got a phone, y'all.
All right, guys. So, I know Melissa's probably watching, like I told you not to do that. So I do a lot of ums. Get used to it, okay? what we have here, guys, if you missed it over the weekend, on Friday at our track day, we set the stock bottom end NA record for 392s. We did it for the Charger, Challenger, every 392 platform that is out there. This is the fastest stock bottom end one around. So we wanted to go over kind of what we did. We got a lot of questions in the post. What happened?
The audio's not coming through good. I don't know if it's going through the mics or not, but it sounds like it's going through native phone audio. Yeah.
Oh, mine's flashing like it.
Is mine? Mine's not.
Try that.
Here, try mine because I'm closer.
Here, no, I just turned it on, I think. We'll try this.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes. If not,
It sounds really good on my end. When I talk, wow, I sound great.
well,
But
maybe it was off. Well, we'll see what happens here. Or if yours is working, you said?
yeah.
Let's trade.
Okay. I'm about to hear if yours will.
All right. We'll see how that goes. So, what are you doing, bro? We're trying to educate here.
Look at little CJ.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So, anyway, Friday, we set the stock by making record with 392. We got a ton of questions over the
It's not
internet.
coming through. Just talk a little louder.
I'm trying.
I know.
You got a ton of questions from the internet on what we did to do that. How much does it weigh? What was done? I'm going to tell you, a lot of people aren't going to agree with what we're about to disclose. Now, you're seeing the argument that people with better heads can't set about that. There's people saying that there's the potential for them to go faster. Then do it. We hope this sparks a little bit of competition for this type of market and industry, okay? I really feel the NA game for the Hemmings was skipped. You think about it, in 2011 they came out, and then, bam, we jumped right into Hellcats by 2014 because of 2015 year. You know what I'm saying? So,
It sounds.
we're getting back into it. This is a goal I've had in mind for several years, and I'll tell you that the goal hasn't changed in that time frame. So, the goal we could find, I get the internet's all blown up, there's people fast that don't record times, whatever the case may be. The fastest times we could find was a 1058 for a Charger and a 1048 for a Challenger. So we went 1045. Now, one of the things that's different is we're the only ones that did it with a stock 392 intake. So this intake manifold is unported. Throttle body, stock, unported.
You can buy them at a dealer.
Buy it at a dealer. So the reason why people are disagreed, what happened in the NA game for the Hemis is people didn't do the research. What they did is they started looking at what was done on the GMs. They started looking at what Ford did, and they go, oh, we're just going to throw the same things on. So they went with ported throttle bodies, larger throttle bodies, ported intake manifolds, just thinking more is better, right? That's not always the case. So there is a way to measure the airflow and see if there's a restriction in place to see if your intake system is working. And that's exactly what we did. Is we did a ton of testing. Chris Mitchell, shout out to you. We've done more testing on his ride than anything, but it helped us really, truly perfect this setup. The cam profile in Chris's is the same as what's in here, which is pretty much the same as any 392 that we put a cam into. What we did is we optimized the current power band. We didn't really try to stretch it out further or higher, and that's what a lot of people do. The high rams carry your horsepower into a much higher RPM. Now the problem with that, with the limited geometry we have on the Hemi heads, you get restricted. It's not like an LS where you can have a 750 lift cam because of the angle of the valves and the piston to valve tolerance that they have. Hemis, we get restricted. So with using a stock casted head, there are limitations. So there's no point in trying to get this super choppy, aggressive cam that flows at 8,000 RPM when you can't get a proper lift and duration to match that, right? So our cam profiles truly just kind of optimized where the factory power curve is. And that's what you got. We really focused on torque and the mid-range power just as much as the peak. So we were only shifting at 6,600 RPM, which some people might find crazy. We have been told that if we rev it out further, that it will be faster, and that's not true because it's based on the cam profile and the intake, right? You also can see CJ, props to him. He developed this velocity stack intake, not a really big taper.
Don't show that angle.
No. Okay.
You can show that angle.
He hates it.
It's a work in progress. This is a
But look,
prototype.
with the headlight out, you can see the intake in my knee.
Right. So With the velocity stack, a small taper from 4 into the stock throttle body without going too big, we maximized the velocity of the airflow. That's one thing that you have to consider when it comes to NA application is you want to maximize the velocity as much as the volume. And what a lot of people do is they focus on the volume over the velocity and it slows down the airflow. The piston going downward is the only piece that is drawing air into the system, okay? There's nothing forcing it in. So we have to maximize and get that airflow there. We use the example, try blowing air through a straw and out of a hose, right? It can be the same distance. Which one's going to have more velocity behind it? A standard straw. So there's a point of finding that balance, and that's exactly what we did. So the setup you see here, by monitoring the airflow and the map sensor, we didn't see a restriction yet. And you can do the calculations with online calculators or anything like that. We are putting down roughly 540 to 550 wheel horsepower and 1400 DA. Stock intake manifold, stock throttle body.
Stock is, stock gets.
So the people out there telling me, oh, you should throw the high ram on it. You should do this. Why? Please tell me why. And this is what we're trying to debunk. Okay? The cars I beat had all of that. Okay? They had way more modifications done. They had lower DA. They had less weight. Okay? So we work smarter, not harder, is what we like to say. So we'll get over don't die in the dyno. Everybody was wondering what we did for weight loss. Okay?
What we did, what Cameron did.
Yeah.
TBH.
So go ahead and show them around in there. I'll go on the other side and talk.
So I don't know if you guys just saw me fall in. We got ourselves a Kirky. That's about all we got. We still do have glass. So we got 4 glass door windows.
Yep.
We got no mirrors. We still have our rear view. We still have our headliner and all that. We got our radio for Bluetoothing and for phoning. We got our shifter. That's kind of it, though, folks.
Yeah.
Airbags, upper pillar airbags, all that still installed. Airbag here, airbag there. Those are heavy. We left those in. Why? Safety, streetcar, stuff like that. Speakers, they're 4 bolts, a pop, and a plug. We pulled those out. We don't really need music. We're going to listen to the car. No carpet. The sound deadener, like plating, mat, rubber, whatever you want to call it, is still in. There's a lot of weight in here. We did not pull this. It is just simply things that we can easily remove and put back in. None of these weight reduction changes are permanent. All of these can be undone. Again, street car. This is just, what you and your buddies could do in your garage before a track day. We did the same thing. So again, I know some people cut out those rear parcel shelves because there is a bunch of weight in it. We didn't do it. Again, we want this stuff to be reversible.
Yeah. So this is extreme for some people. I understand this isn't for everybody, and normally we don't gut cars. Okay, as you guys know from our twin turbocharger,
that just had a seat out.
Yeah.
I mean, it still had carpet, still had all the door panels.
Yeah, we just took the back seats out and the passenger seat out, and we ran that thing. It still weighed 4,700 pounds. But in the NA game, it's very different. So again, the approach was we want it to be reversible. We could spend half a day and throw this car back together, and it's a full-on street car. Now, we'll get out and go to the back. I'm gonna tell you guys, this is probably the next weight reduction I'm gonna do. We did remove the spoiler, it's gone.
We need that carbon trunk, though.
Is the trunk. So if you guys don't know, these trunks weigh without the springs in it, which we did take
I don't know if you guys just saw him struggle to open that. This boy lifts every day.
So, not every day, but it's about a 50-pound trunk, the way it sits right now. We didn't take any lights out. It's all fully functioning.
Let me see.
But we took the springs out.
Oh, my God. Yeah, that's...
Yeah, so there's normally return springs here that help open it, all right? We took all that out. This is super heavy. I bet you we can save another 30 pounds by going to a carbon fiber truck.
Easy.
One
Lightweight
thing we
battery.
did was the lithium battery. That saved roughly 40 pounds in itself as well. So it's all the basic weight reduction stuff that you guys can do at home. I get it. This isn't for everybody. A lot of people...
None of this required special tools. None of this required really any intelligence besides just making sure you take it off in a way that doesn't break it. Yeah, you can just, go the ape route and start yanking. Some of it requires steps, but it's nothing incredibly intense or, you guys were only able to do this because you're a speed shop. No, this is just normal hand tools and a bit of smarts.
No hole saws taken.
No,
There's no,
sadly.
I mean, literally we have the full panels here. Windows motors are still in place. fully functioning. Cameron, I had to leave in your light switch or your window switch.
He made this out of heat shield, which is a, you know, we're very environmentally conscious, so this really is that reduce, reuse, recycle.
So, yeah, now, this is where a big piece of the puzzle comes into play that a lot of people are forgetting about. There's two types of weight you can reduce. There's static, and then there's rotating. Okay, rotating, for those when it comes to drag racing, can double or triple the benefit when it comes to racing. Okay, so the rule of thumb is every 100 pounds that you strip out of a car will reduce your ET by 1/10, so 0.1. So every 100 pounds we strip is 1/10. What they say is rotating mass is roughly double to triple that benefit. So what that means is if you have 100 pounds of rotating mass you strip off, the benefit can be 2 to 3/10 reduced on the ET. And we actually have proof of that by our front wheels. So when we started off running,
It had those big old 18s on it. Those over there, these, look at these massive, massive things. All that wheel. Now we come back, look at this tiny little baby. It's like a shopping cart wheel. This is a 15. So 3 inches the size, plus design and manufacturing helps lower weight.
So we changed nothing, no tuning, nothing, no changes at the track. All we did was put the front runners on after we got the lugs that we needed, and we dropped a 10th in our ET just by changing the front runners. Those are free spinning, rotating mass.
No horsepower change, no tuning, no nothing. We just took a wheel off, put a different wheel on.
Correct. So that's something that when people ask, well, how much weight did you strip out of it? And then they get to the argument on the internet about how it's still heavy. It is. You got to understand one of the biggest and most beneficial modifications done to the car is the wheels and the brakes. So I know somebody was asking, well, what did you do for the front and rear? Guys, this is a TCE 15-inch conversion front and rear. That's it. These are single-piece rotors. If you do the 2-piece rotors, you actually save even more weight out of it. Those were done before I bought the car, so I might switch them over as we continue this progression. But we have several hundred pounds saved in rotating mass just on the wheels and brakes alone. So that's how much it can amplify. So when you have, we'll say 250 pounds of rotating mass, on the low end, we'll say that double. That's half a second just by the wheels, tires, and brakes. Okay? So what that means is you see this stripped and gutted car. Because it's all reversible, I would really say that roughly 400 pounds of other things are static weight. We could put back in, this car would still go 1080s.
Full interior.
Full interior, full everything, okay?
With these wheels.
Because of the wheels and the tires and the brakes. So that is how important rotating mass is when it comes to racing, okay? Now, obviously when you go to smaller brakes in these heavy cars, you do feel it, but that's part of the perk of the full strip that we did, right? And this thing
it helps make up for it a bit.
Yeah, so rough figures of what we did is I'm pretty sure we're a hair under or right around 3,550 pounds before I sit in the car. So, you know, our race weight is about 3,750 is what she did in a 1045. And that's huge. I mean, that's still not, and there's a lot more we could do to really strip this thing down.
Carbon doors, carbon roof, carbon hood, carbon fenders, carbon trunk.
And I just don't know how far I want to go with it, really. We got the record.
Carbon's also stupid expensive. If you guys haven't looked into it, a set of carbon doors is like $5-8 grand.
Yeah, also, we actually added weight to it with 2 things. So we added an X-pipe. When I purchased the vehicle underneath, we added an X-pipe to the exhaust. The original owner had the exhaust just straight pipe dumped. So theory, concept, everything we have on the internet shows an X-pipe is superior, so I sacrificed the weight by throwing an X-pipe on there. Whether it truly benefited or not, I don't really 100% know. The test that we run on the dyno, it made the same power before and after with an X-pipe. The only difference when we had the X-pipe on it was hotter out. So the fact it made the same power when it was hotter out, who knows, right? It's all based on theory and concept, so we kept it. The other thing is the Billet Evolution cat valve covers. We did that because the factory crankcase ventilation settings and system are not optimal for the higher horsepower that we're running.
Look at that nice dash 10 vented vented hose going into a vented catch can. I shouldn't say vented hose. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a hose that goes into a catch can. Your stock ones don't have this. So pushing this thing, we want to make sure we have all the crankcase ventilation possible. And this setup, twin cans, lets us do that.
Yeah, so we did sacrifice weight because these billet covers do weigh a little bit more than the plastic, but we want to sacrifice that for proper crankcase ventilation. So I know some of you out there watching probably saw the test that MMX did where they put a vacuum pump on and gained 20 horsepower. We're going to be doing the same thing to see if that truly benefits us in the same fashion. So I'll sacrifice the weight of the vacuum pump
For 20 horses.
to see if we get 20 horse. That would be killer out of a setup like this. How much power is this car making? The highest dyno pull I have of this car was 536 at the wheels on a 95-degree day. The temperature outside was mid-60s when you were at the track, so roughly 30 degrees reduced. So my guess with what I'm seeing fuel-wise, because I did have to add some fuel to it based on the weather we had, would put it right at the 545 to 550 wheel horsepower with matching torque. That's one of the perks of our cam setups is the torque is pretty much matching. We don't sacrifice the torque for the peak horsepower. Something that's beautiful about the horsepower curve is it's very flat. So when you look at our graph, right at, I'd say before 6,000 RPM, we're already at 530 wheel horsepower, and it's very flat there and after. It's not just a very vertical number that you're looking for that peak. We're looking for a very usable power band. By doing that, again, we don't have to rev the piss out of this thing, right? I get it, people are going to 72, 73, 7400 RPM. Again, we shifted this at 6600 RPM, and it did what we needed to do. Why? That's where our power band is. Everybody focuses on horsepower. We say it all the time, horsepower sells. We get that, that's the number everybody looks for. What we forget is that horsepower is a math equation based off of torque. So think about that. What you really should be looking at is the torque curve. And that's what we did is we optimized our torque curve. We didn't want to sacrifice that low to mid-range torque, for a peak horsepower number, right? Now I understand that the higher the torque curve, right, the higher the horsepower in the same token. Very true. But that's why this car also did a 140 60-foot weighing over 3,700 pounds, okay? And we have the ability to make that even better after watching film on it. We can see that not only on the launch, but on the 1-2 shift, it's unloading the front a little bit. So we're going to stiffen up the front rebound and try to prevent that because we have triple adjustable Viking racing shocks in this, which is going to help us truly dial it in. So the car, as you see it, weighing over 3,750 pounds, making the mid 500s like it is, it will produce a 1,360 foot, and that was in 1,400 DA. I know for a fact if we adjusted it, it would have done a 1,360 foot. I know hopefully some people out there have Hellcats, have Trackhawks, have things that make way more horsepower, amazed that this little NA car did a 1,360 foot, okay? And that's because of the cam profile. That's because of where our focus was. That's because of this intake manifold and throttle body, okay? So, yeah, I know, I'll repeat again, weight reduction wise, I think we're right around 700 to 800 horsepower is where we're down. Everything that we did is fully reversible. Nothing is permanent. There's no holes drilled, none of that stuff. Everything is fully reversible. The biggest benefit is maximizing that low to mid-range power while keeping the peak and having rotating mass being a big focus. Okay, I know a lot of people do the 15-inch conversion in the rears on Hellcats and big power cars for traction. We don't need a 15. This thing will dead hook with a 17. The reason we did it is weight. And the tires are cheaper too. So
Way cheaper.
way cheaper.
And in stock.
Usually, right. More popular. So that's one of those things. Now, unless people are asking questions, then they want to see some, OEM coils, right?
OEM coils, you didn't go for colored ones. Whoa! And guess what? They worked. And guess what? These are the same coils that were on the 1,500 horsepower shop car. It's almost like those work. Yeah. Crazy thought. Just leave those on.
And for those wondering, we did get new ones because the ones that came on the vehicle with about 70,000 miles were corroded and not good. So I did have to invest in a new set of coils. So everybody out there, don't forget to look at those coils as you're doing your plug checks, okay? So, guys, that's pretty much it.
This is her. We forgot ethanol content sensor. To make flashing tunes easy and accurate, we got ourselves an ethanol content sensor tucked in there. So,
All right, now we can. Set up on the-
someone asking, is there any way to get my Charger Hellcat to that weight? Told Mr. Tony Pryor.
Yes.
Yes, give it to me.
You've got to be a little closer, probably. Sit in your chair too low so I can see where we need to be.
We're doing reverse.
Everybody loves our headlights, so it's going to be the center of attention
Yeah.
there. So, all right. Oh, got to go up a little bit. All right, now we are going to discuss. Let's go. There we go. Stop playing with my headlight hole. All right. Now, we can go through the questions. We can go through the things that people were asking on the internet and kind of clarify. So I wrote a couple of them down.
Oh.
So first, what I want to do is I want to give shout-outs. We did it in our post, but I want to do it verbally so
Yes.
anybody that watches this YouTube as well will get it. So first and foremost, our families. A lot of us were working late, running around at crazy times. My wife putting up with our three little princesses. If you girls are watching, get ready for nap time. Friends as well, and our customers.
Yeah.
Without everybody, all three of those categories, we wouldn't be able to try and push the envelope here. We wouldn't be able to produce what we did, right? And we're doing this for you guys to help the community as well. Like I said, when it comes to NA game for the Hemis, it's skipped over. I get it, big horsepower is cool. I get it, we throw turbos on everything and nitrous and blowers all at the same time and make big numbers with big boost. I understand. I honestly think this is harder to do, and it really shows the understanding of what you're working with, right? Yes, all of the nitrous. So this is more challenging. It absolutely is, right? We're repeating the shop car, the Charger we had. Let's get that. There we go. The shop car that we had that was twin turbo weighed 4,700 pounds. It went 850s in the quarter, 5.5 in the eighth, right? I know that if I stripped it down like this car, it would have gone 750s at the same power level. That easy. I mean, I was running 18s on the front on that thing. So I know right out of the gate, I had 830s, 840s alone just by doing a 15-inch conversion in the front. So this is a lot harder to achieve numbers like that. So, big shout out for that. Also want to say Auto Style Illinois. They're the ones that actually got us the wheels. They're actually the one that got us the final lug nuts that we needed. We wouldn't have set this time if it wasn't for them.
No.
The wheels literally showed up the day before track day, and we got the lugs the same day as track day. So huge shout out for them. If you need wheels or styling, reach out. Auto Style Illinois.
Right next to my house. You can come say hi while you're there.
There you go. That's maybe not a perk.
No.
Next, Byron Dragway. Huge shout out to them and crew, man. They killed it. The track prep was on point. They listened to our needs.
If they saw someone spin, they immediately started re-prepping.
Yeah.
I mean, just really on it.
Yeah, there's a reason we will take that trip to them anytime we need a track runner like that. We told them we were setting a record, and they said the track's the last thing we have to worry about, and it was true.
Yeah.
We had some very fast cars putting down some times there as well. I get it. I mean,
some low eights.
Low eights, right? Yeah. And at the end of the day, a little 1040 NA car may not seem like a lot, but believe it or not, she did spin one time, and they prepped right after. I lost to a damn motorcycle. But we won't talk about that. Bob hopefully isn't in here.
No, he's not.
Another shout out, Texas Speed. So we don't hide behind the fact that we made this cam profile on our own in any way, shape, or form, because that's not the case. Years ago, when Texas Speed started announcing that they were going to be doing cams, we were one of the first ones to contact them and built a relationship since then. We have tested and tried cam profiles for years to land where we're at. And I'm going to tell you this, they're the ones that actually are the ones that worked with us, right? They spec them, guys. I'm not one of those tuners. I'm not going to lie like I am. I don't spec cams. No, I know what the settings do.
We know what the numbers mean.
We know what they mean, but I leave that up to the experts. So anytime I need a custom cam or anything like that, it's the relationship we have with Texas Speed. We reach out to them and they make sure it's set up right.
That's why it's also very important to let us know what you want out of your cam.
Right.
So we're able to work that in. If you're stock converter, if you just want chop, that's when we're able to get that.
So massive shout out to them. Again, they worked with us for years to develop and perfect this cam profile. And now any 392 that gets our level 4 package, you essentially get the same cam that's sitting in the car behind me. So
hit us up for level 4. Get like this.
Yeah. So Billet Specialties, obviously shout out to them, because without their wheels, we wouldn't have set the record as easily as we did. I do, nothing against the Bogarts. They're beautiful, beautiful wheels. But in the battle of weight,
we need 15s.
We needed 15s in a pinch. So They knocked those bad boys out for us, and honestly, I went a 1050x. So I took the Charger record on the Bogarts and literally just swapped the front runners, and went 1045. So 1/10 just by doing that. So yeah, big shout out to them and coming in clutch like they did. So all right, guys. So now we're gonna dive into more in-depth. What's up?
Chris Mitchell.
Of course, Chris Mitchell. He's in the first game, but Chris Mitchell before solely for that. Like I said, he beats the piss out of his car, guys.
Yeah.
We've sent him, I can't count how many intake systems to try. He went to, if you don't know, his car is the green one out there that broke the internet a week or so ago.
Yep.
Really, he's the one that allowed us to originally push the concept and idea on somebody else's car before we got our own. His car is a twin to this one. I actually copied him. So I give credit where it's due. The wheels that are on this car are literally what are on his, and I asked him what they were spec.
Just different color.
Right. They were custom spec. He got them built, and I just copied him. Why it works, right? He's gone 1070s in 2,000 plus DA. You know what I mean? And he weighed 300 pounds more. So it is one of those. His car is going to produce the same time as this one. What also is awesome about that is this shows that this is a repeatable, consistent result. This isn't a one-off. This isn't like it's some glory camshaft that has some special profile to it. This is literally a repeated result that we have in cars that are on the road everywhere right now. It's just a lot of the NA guys don't push them to the same extent, right? We have a ton of high 10-second cars that are full weight. We know that. So it just goes to show that this is repeatable. And I'm going to tell you this, that if Chris gets the opportunity to get even a 1,000 DA day with a track that hooks, he's going to be number 1 or 2. He might beat us just because of the time he has with, driving the car. Sadly, I think the suspension this time out hurt us a little bit just because we were playing with it and trying to get it set up and just never got it fully dialed in yet. So we're still playing with it. Where he's on stock suspension in regards to that application. So how do we get rid of that? I think questions are coming through. I can't see it. How do you get rid of this?
Oh, broke it. The little X.
I can't hit it. There we go.
You got it. Someone sent stars.
Okay, cool. So
who sent that? Tony Pryor. We're reaching out to get my cartoon. That's not content. Tony, I'm looking forward to it, baby. Send her over.
So, mad props to Chris because he's truly the one that kind of allowed this spark to continue. I'm not kidding. You can ask my team, any one of them. I want to say it was going on 4 years ago. I came up with this idea of buying a Charger and taking the stock bottom end record.
He's been talking about it for a while. It's just things have popped up that we kind of need to, like the RHO Corvette, stuff like that, where it's just, we need it now.
The twin turbo Charger, people said I'd never owned anything fast, so here you go. I bought one, built it from the ground up in a couple months and went fast. So
I think it's been longer than 4 years. I think you were talking about that when you hired me.
I think so,
I remember like the head talk and all that.
It's always been one just because, for those that don't know, I'm a GM guy at heart, and I know the capabilities of an NA setup when you can push it, right? And I kept seeing the things that were done, and it just didn't make sense based on the results I was seeing from the tunes and the data logs that I have collected over the years, right? So that's one of those things where this has been on my mind for a long time to pursue. So it's cool that literally the first track event we went out to, we killed it. And it wasn't even Hero DA, man. It 1,460 feet positive in regards to the DA. Humidity was awful. It was, so that's exciting in itself. So, go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, you got to drive it, so I mean, you can.
It was a coolish day, but like towards the end of it, you could literally feel the humidity in the air, and it wasn't even like an 85-degree day where I was like, you'll have that on these big jobs. It was just a muggy crap day.
Yeah. So. All right, so we did the walk around. Those jumping in late, we'll put this on YouTube so you can look it over. We did the walk around on the car. It's actually very simple in regards to what we did for weight reduction.
It's easy to drive too. For what's done to it, I hopped in it. I went a 10.50.
First time.
Yeah, my
first time in the car.
First time driving this car. First time being faster than a 12. First time actually in a car that can actually launch and do a 60-foot sub 2 compared to the Magnum. So I was a little scared, and I still popped off a 10.50. So it's not something where it's like you have to be a driver to make these times. I was 0.05 of a second off the record. I was sub-Charger record being my first time, being me. And if you know me, that should go a long way to tell you something.
And he's tall. He's
and I'm
big.
tall, so I messed up the weight balance.
Yep,
you
all
know,
of it,
I
right?
mean, it wasn't
Yeah,
there.
we
but-
won't mention Arturo's 1060 time that you beat him on. You know,
Yeah.
that'd be embarrassing if the little
Yeah,
guy
he
lost
almost
to you.
weighs 100 pounds lighter than me.
Yeah.
And I cracked him
He
on
should be the
I cracked him on a
record.
10th, baby.
Yeah, but we'll get there. But
I want more.
You know-
I want more. Oh, if anyone has an 8-speed, by the way, now that I drove this car, I'm ruining my 300. So if anyone has an 8-speed,
back on track.
HP70, sell it to me.
Back on track.
Yeah.
So, just a quick recap on the actual modifications to the engine on this setup so people know.
What's all down to order?
This is our level 4 package with the optional underdrive pulley. That's pretty much it. So what is our level 4? It is our cam, long tube headers, stainless works on this bad boy, 1 7/8. Again, we had our custom X pipe on it. And yeah, ID1050s for E85, stock fuel pump. Yeah, that's pretty much it. ATI, 15% underdrive pulley. So
No Hellcat injectors, man?
no, not big enough. We would tap those out. I'm actually, because of the fuel pump's not happy with the power this thing's making so far. So I think that's Chris Mitchell in this car, the injector duty cycle and everything is almost identical. It's crazy looking at the data log. You literally can't tell from a data log standpoint, his car versus mine. They're so close to each other. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. And then, like we said, weight reduction on top of it. This one did optional head porting by PRC Texas Speed. So these are ported 6.4 heads. Chris Mitchell does not have them. He has unported heads on his.
I have a set of ported heads Chris Mitchell can buy.
You sure do. Yeah. So that's pretty much it. I mean, there's, the intake, I guess, which we talked about, but the intake manifold, the axles are stock, the throttle body is stock. That is pretty much it when it comes to modifications, guys.
Well, it has a diff brace,
It does have a diff
but
brace.
that's kind of like an essential. You do it on a stock car.
And a one-piece drive shaft that was there before I bought the car. So that's one of those. So, will the shop car get a cool 3D printed headlight with the intake port?
Come on, CJ, why don't you come over here and
Why don't you
talk?
bring the orange one? So, we are working on it. Yes, we are planning on it.
The orange
As you
one.
see behind us, it's very open.
The orange one.
I know people laugh at this because they don't understand. So I did want to talk about this. This is like number 3 on my list, but I'll talk about it now since it was brought up. As you see, I don't have a headlight. Okay? Now, people laugh because you see turbo cars that do this and they think, you know what I mean? Here are the 2 benefits of why this works. Okay? 1, weight. We don't like weight. So that's the same reason we took the mirrors off. So if you point over your shoulder,
CJ made mirror deletes, which we
Mirror
can sell
deletes.
if you want them.
you might laugh, but those mirrors weighed over 3 pounds each. That's 6 pounds of weight.
Plus
taken out.
aero.
Plus aero. Okay? So, headlight gone. Lose the weight. Now, any NA car that's at the track racing, right? The biggest hurdle you have is your 60 foot. We need everything we can out of the hole. Now, what happens with these open element, open filter intakes or no filter with the velocity
They
stack?
get hot.
They get hot. I don't care what you do. It will get hot, right? Heat soak. So, what we have discovered is this being open dramatically drops the heat soak. Dramatically. And just driving around the pits and then pulling up in the lane, we're only 5 to 7 degrees above ambient. We're not cruising at 60 miles an hour, just 5, 10, and it just pulls the heat out of it, right? So on top of it, if you saw earlier, we are working on, we have a box in here that is still a prototype and we're working on making it better, but we're capturing that air as well with a wall up against the heat soak from the headers. So the heat soak is what kills the 60 foot. I have tested and seen that heat soak on the hit can reduce your 60 foot by 1 to 2 tenths, which is huge, especially in an NA world where every second counts. So this car that you see behind us cut multiple 140, 142 60 foots.
It wasn't just a fluke.
It's not a fluke. It was repeatable. And a lot of that came from the fact that at the time, even after doing a burnout, just rolling up to the lights, the heat soak, the ambient temperatures plummeted, or the IATs plummeted closer to ambient because of this. So you can laugh and make fun all you want. The fact is, this is part of the reason we got the 60 foot that we did. Now, you multiply that at speed when you're cruising down the track, I mean, it was literally ambient temperature as we're going down the track. It was awesome.
You can't beat it.
Yeah. And again, thanks to Chris Mitchell, it was an idea we threw at him and he did it. And we've tried multiple different concepts of different things here to see what was best. But yeah, that's a weight savings thing, right? It's also an ambient temp, intake temp benefit. So huge perks to taking your headlight out if you have the proper intake and your NA. So laugh at me all you want. We went 1045 and there's more in the
record.
tank. We have the record.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
you can laugh when you take the record, you don't have that stuff.
so I mentioned earlier as we walked around the car and saw the weight reduction, power to weight ratio. This is something that a lot of people are not considering when it comes to the potential of these big cars. Okay. Now I know they're heavy, but they also make a lot of power for what they are. So like I said, we're going to just call it at 550 horsepower at the wheels is a safe, easy number. Sue me if I'm 10 under that. It's just easy for math, okay? So if you take the curb weight of it, we're going to use a 2017-2016 Charger Hellcat, Charger 392, and then our shop car. We're going to discuss the power to weight ratio. So for those that don't understand, this is a measurement tool used to essentially see how much power you're making compared to the weight. Because at the end of the day, that's what helps you move your vehicle is this ratio, right? The heavier a car, the less the horsepower, the slower it is. So it's a good way to kind of measure. So on a 2017 Charger Hellcat, the curb weight is just over 4,500 pounds. We're doing curb weight. We're not doing with a driver in it. This is purely curb weight. Okay. So for those that don't know, curb weight usually means when a car is sitting at the curb with some gas in the tank.
Fluids, oils.
Fluids, oils. I think they say half tank of gas. So it's a universal number across the board.
How much is going to weigh at the curb?
Right, exactly. With nobody in it.
Yeah.
So Hellcats weigh just over 4,500 pounds in Charger platform. With their 707 crank horsepower, they are at a 0.0156 power to weight ratio. So essentially what that means is that's how much horsepower per pound is being pushed is the way to look at it, right? So that's where that one is at. A 392 stock, this car's stock, is just over 4,300 pounds is what they say curb weight is. We use the same source on the internet, so we're just going to use the same source. Sue me again if it's 100 pounds up or down, whatever.
Trusting the internet.
We're just trying to get ballpark numbers, guys. So a stock 392, the power to weight ratio using 485 for the crank horsepower, because this is a BGE block, so I'm going to be transparent, is 0.11. So again, a Hellcat is 0.156 roughly, and this is a 392 is 0.11. Okay, now this is why we set the time that we did. Our shop car with an estimated 550 wheel horsepower, which comes out to be roughly 625 crank horsepower. Not bad, right? When you look at it that way. We are sitting at 0.0176. So compared to a Hellcat at 0.0156.
Spicy.
Right? That is why she just went 1040s and has the ability to even go quicker once we dial in the suspension and get that 60 foot down even more. That is what it comes down to, guys. It's power to weight ratio. I mean, there's no other way kind of around it. I know we blew up the internet and the GM guys are all butthurt about Chris Mitchell taking on the C6 Vet and the Red Eye. We'll break down that race real quick, guys. It was just... Go ahead.
Guys, it's a boosted Corvette. They all automatically make 1,000 bazillion horsepower, right? It's a boosted Corvette. It has to. What actually is it?
So, we don't know much information on the car, so I'm not going to talk beyond, what we know. It's a base C6 Corvette. I don't know if it's an LS2 or LS3 version, but it's just boost only at single digits on pump gas. It doesn't have cam. It doesn't have headers.
Stock motor,
doesn't have heads.
single-digit
it's
boost.
It's a bone stock C6 manual at that with single-digit boost on pump gas. Okay? So anybody that wants to do research and say it's impossible for a NA 392 Charger that is like this one that just went 1040s, right, to beat a boosted C6. I understand that the C6, curb weight is with a blower on it is roughly 300 pounds less than this car behind me, okay? But depending if it's an LS2, LS3, they make 480 to about the same power that we're making when it comes to boosted power numbers. Depends on 6 to 8 pounds of boost, depends on LS2, LS3. We don't know. So it could be 480 to, we'll say, even 550, which is kind of on the high end even for an LS3 out of a blower car, okay? So people are saying, oh, that doesn't make sense. It's lighter. And even if it was an LS3 making the same exact power as you, it's 300 pounds lighter. Two things you guys are forgetting to consider.
He's manual.
Gearing, manual, right? The gearing. This is an 8-speed with a 309. We know how superior that is up to, 130, 140, right? Gearing is huge, especially from a roll race, okay? 60 foot as well, but especially from a roll race. Manual gear ratios are very spread out. That's one. Number two, the weight. Oh, they're 300 pounds less, so if they make the same power, they should pull on you. Guys are forgetting about rotating mass, okay? So, yes, it's 300 pounds more, but in the same token, a lot of the weight that was stripped out of the car that is racing in Chris Mitchell's rotating mass. He runs the same 15-inch conversion all the way around, has the same 15-inch wheels all the way around, okay? So there is a ton of rotating mass that is reduced, that is compounded on the benefit. So we have gearing in our favor. We also have the rotating mass because of how it was built. So no, it is not far-fetched at all that a 392 Charger will pull on a boosted C6. Yes, if they have heads and cam and long tube headers and E85 and they're making 900 horsepower to the wheels, that's a different story.
That wasn't this car.
That's not this car. We never said it was that car.
No.
Now, if your argument is there's no way it should do because that car should have heads and cam on it, if it had heads and cam on it, it'd be even more embarrassing. But, and if you also watch that film, it was in Mexico from 40 to 150 miles an hour. So the 392 Charger let off at 150 miles an hour, and that's when the Corvette went around him. Yes, after about 120, 125, the Vette started creeping on him a little bit. That's aerodynamics and weight that start playing
That's a
into
wedge
it.
versus a brick.
Exactly. So it was a good race, and we're not sitting here saying there were bus links put on it. The fact is, it was an NA392, especially stock bottom end, that literally was out in front on a boosted C6 Vette. Okay. Now the other vehicle, a Challenger Red Eye, narrow body Challenger Red Eye. Okay. Look up what they run stock in the quarter mile time. Okay. Again, they're heavy. Okay. Power to weight ratio. We talked about a normal Hellcat, right? Where the 392 has a higher power to weight ratio. Chris Mitchell's 392 has a higher one than the normal one. I understand this one has 90 horsepower more. It also has a little bit more weight to it. So they're probably very equal. Again, this is where weight savings comes into play with the rotating mass. And don't forget that Red Eye was stock. So cat over 10 protection surely kicking in from a roll race. And that's just going to be the way it goes. Again, look up stock ETs for a narrow body Challenger. Guess what? I know Chris Mitchell's car is a mid-10-second car. We have proof in the pudding right there. Chris has gone 1070s, and he's taken almost 300 pounds out of it since then, guys. It makes sense. Mm-hmm. So
sometimes it's okay to believe things you see posted in the internet.
Yeah, sometimes it is. Right, like
sometimes.
This one. And I love the arguments we get are because of other things people have seen posted on the internet. So again, to clarify, a boosted only C6, just throwing on an A&A blower setup at 6-7 pounds of boost, they run like mid to low 11s, guys. You get a really good driver, especially manual with maybe a tire, maybe knock off a high tech.
Put Jeremy in there, he's going 10.8. Anyone else is going 11.2.
But it's one of those that, again, there's a lot of variables that are missing. And yes, on the top end, that car was starting to pull. No, we're not taking away from that, but we won from 40 to 150, guys. It's just kind of how it goes. The car is a mid-10-second car. It's the way it goes. The time slip doesn't lie, and results don't lie, right? So you go on the C6 Corvette forums or whatever and look at their top 5 list, or, their top fastest list. All the ones that are in the 10s have cams and heads and long tubes and E85 or meth injection and this, that, and the other. So again, it's just knowing the platform and understanding the comparison. And we know that, right? I'm a GM guy. I've had a ton of them myself. I've built a ton of them. So I totally understand. So it's just one of those, like, just understand what you're arguing about.
Before you argue it.
Yeah, before you argue it. And that's like one of the comments that we had. I appreciate feedback. I appreciate opinions and things like that. But somebody was comparing this car to the stock bottom end LS3 5th gen Camaro that went 850s.
What does that car weigh? Like 6,200?
No, what?
What does that car weigh?
Do you mean 2,600?
That's what I meant, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, when it comes to comparisons, guys, I'm going to tell you this. I'm not trying to compete with GM or Ford. What I'm trying to do is improve the Mopar community. I'm trying to improve this platform and show people that you don't need boost to have a fun car, okay? I can tell you, these guys can tell you a 10-second car is a lot of fun at the racetrack.
Some of the most fun I've ever had inside of a vehicle was in this car.
Yeah, I beat the snot out of this thing, and then I let my employees drive it because, you know, they
did the
work hard
record,
on it.
and then it was Arturo, me, and then CJ just immediately back to back to back, just beating the shit out of it, learning how to drive a fast car.
Yeah. So, you know, it's one of the things that, you know, everybody has a different opinion. Everybody has a different goal in mind. And what we're trying to prove is that this platform is truly untapped in regards to true information that's out there for how to build them. Again, it's one of those. Maybe I'll try a high ram just to see what it actually does, because people keep throwing out that I should throw it on there and it will go faster. But I don't have anything supporting that from a data standpoint. I don't have an airflow restriction. I'm going to lose a lot of my low to mid range torque, so sacrificing my 60 foot. I just try and maybe pick up some peak horsepower. I don't know what.
Jim.
Oh yeah.
He goes, I have headlights.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jim has everything except his rear flares.
I was just about to say, yard sale.
Yeah, except that, right? So, you know, it's one of those things, guys, that it's really an untapped, untested market. A lot of the things that people have been buying that shops tell them to buy or businesses tell them to buy.
You need a throttle body spacer to go these fast.
Right. You know, when you know, if there's somebody that tells you, oh, you should put a ported throttle body on your stock car. Guys, this makes mid 500s and I have a stock throttle body, so I don't think there's a reason for that. Hey, you should port your intake manifold.
You need a high ram and Hellcat injectors and a 180, 108 throttle body and this, that, and the other.
This is going to send people for a loop.
Yeah.
Guys, I missed a modification because it's not modded. There's a stock thermostat in this car. Whoa! Mind blown. Also, too, I set the record by hot lapping it.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Yeah, you're right. He did. He did.
3 back-to-back
He didn't pass.
Sure.
He didn't pass. Super, super close. We're all standing in the pits like, fuck, man, you're so close. And he just drove by and then got in the staging lanes again. He literally drove it down the return load, got in the staging lanes, set the record.
Yeah. So, again, these are things of we're trying to debunk. We're trying to help. Why?
It's Mythbusters, but car.
Yeah, Mythbusters, but car. And we're trying to, again, help the community. I'm cool if other shops start to adopt and understand what we're trying to do.
If you guys go faster than this, awesome. It means that someone's pushing it.
Please. You know, I've held a lot of records in the Hemi community, a lot of forgotten about, which is fine because I want to push the community. I want to push this platform, guys. And I want to do it with proper research. I had somebody arguing over the weekend that there's a better heads and cam setup on the market.
Prove it.
And I said,
it's not going faster.
How? When we have the fastest one, and it's one of those. I know I'm going to be beat, and I can't wait for it to be beat. And that's what I want, is for it to be beat. I want people to stop just pushing product because other platforms did it, or they saw another shop say that they needed to do it. And this, I'm going to tell you guys, this opened up my eyes when I was tuning. I won't use names. People will know who he is, but I was tuning. Currently, I have tuned the fastest 392 ever, which was a forged motor in regards to the car chassis. And now we have the fastest stock bottom end ever. And it was one of those that I came in after the modifications are done. So we had to work with what we had, right? So this really is me trying again to debunk. Are you on Marketplace?
Sorry.
Jesus Christ. This is us trying to debunk what is being tossed around out there, okay? And hey, if there's a faster car that's a grudge car, cool. Guys, if you notice, I wasn't racing anybody. The days of me like competitively racing, street racing, that is all over. This is purely for research and development, collecting data. This is me helping the community. I hope another shop learns from this and then help that next customer that doesn't come here because they're too far away, maybe too expensive, whatever the case may be. Just remember who's the one that is helping you guys understand the potential here, okay? And it's just, I find it funny that even when I'm making a post about, hey, we set a record and beat a record, and people are still throwing out we should change the modification list to go faster. Oh man, and that's the type of stuff with the internet that can be frustrating.
Hey guys, let me help you out. I know I can get you guys going faster. Why are we the fastest right now?
Yeah. So
With minimal mods. It's not even like we have some unobtainium $40,000 billet camshaft or something. This is stuff that anyone can do in their garage. This is not unbelievably intense stuff. None of this stuff required use of a 5-axis CNC. This is just plain Jane normal stuff. So again, we pose the question, why hasn't it been faster then? If it's better, why are we currently the fastest with this setup? So again, prove us wrong, please.
And I you know, on a piggyback off of that, guys, there is a time and a place for a highly high ram. There is a time and a place for a larger throttle body. There is a time and a place for other modifications that people have listed or done over the times. But I think what we have proven is that, at least from a stock bottom end standpoint, that's unnecessary.
Yeah.
And I want to hopefully save some people a lot of money if this is the type of performance that they're trying to pursue. Okay.
We do have a converter in this car.
Yeah,
I'll
converter in the car.
I don't think we mentioned it.
That's true, because we were talking about the engine. There is a converter. It's a baby converter, too. It's not... Chris Mitchell's is actually more aggressive than this one.
It ain't no fancy billet stator.
Yeah.
It's just a converter.
Yeah, this is just a little higher stall converter. It helps with the... As you see, you've heard it on the video and stuff. What's that?
Who's it from?
I think it's Suncoast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Suncoast.
So, you know, it's one of those guys where very simple setup to duplicate, right? Very, very simple. And that's what we're trying to prove. Yes, the cars we beat had, you know, Lexane. They had negative DA. They had highly high rims with their hoods cut out, with big old intakes in the front and plastic, this, that, and the other. And the fact of the matter is it was kind of overkill. And I'm hoping, like I said, I'm repeating myself, I know, that this does help the community and see that this Hemi engine, guys, I am a huge fan of what the engineers did with this 392.
They did good.
You gotta respect what they did from the factory.
They said, you want an A motor? Here you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
And they've really optimized it from the factory. We talked the other day about how, you know, the results are greater from a GM or a Ford platform, but the end is very similar in regards to a heads, cam, long tube header, LT1.
The end output.
Makes the same as a heads, cam, long tube header, 392.
It's just not the same initial gains because you're starting with a higher point.
Exactly. So the gains are reduced, but the result is the same. So mark my word, this car will go 9s with the stock bottom end.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest with you there.
Let me drive the boat.
You might drive it. You might drive the boat. So
I surprised myself.
So that being said, I think now's a good time of what is next. You know, we've talked about it in our lives on Friday and this, that, and the other. So what is in store for this guy?
Hood installation delete. We did it with the hood installation. Again, it's a street car. I want to keep the noises down.
So what we're going to be doing next is we are going to continue with a little bit of weight reduction like that.
Did Dan drive it?
Dan did not drive it.
Dan, you didn't drive it?
No, he's like, no, my Charger's faster.
Oh.
My all-wheel drive boosted Charger's faster. What?
Slower.
Did you out mile an hour me? Yeah, it's faster. Quicker is the ET. So, yeah, so
I love this car.
we're gonna do a little bit more weight reduction, nothing extreme. Again, this is all reversible stuff, but like you said, we saw that headliner there, and those clips are a little dated. The fact is, people will laugh. I'm gonna take that other headlight out once CJ finishes his 3D print. We're gonna put just a plastic one in there. It's weight, it saves. We also are gonna.
Race cars don't need headlights because the track is always lit.
Yeah, so we are also going to work on aerodynamics.
Yes.
So going back to my roots, those that were around when I set the stock bottom end record in my WK1 with the big old turbo sticking out of the hood.
We're 3D printing a bumper for it, giving it a Lambo Countach front end.
Anyway,
we could.
No. So we are we did some aerodynamic testing on that WK1. It actually helped us get the stock bottom end record for a decade ago. So we are going to implement that on this. So as an example, the fog lights, that's a big parachute right there.
Yeah.
We are going to fix that a little bit. I don't need all of the front fascia for the cooling, so we're going to fix that for a quick 9-second pass. So
we should cut half the condenser because we don't need that.
I thought about
we
it.
only need it for the trans cooler.
Yeah, I thought about putting an extra, just a smaller trans cooler, but I don't know if we'll go that far. Again, this is more of what you can do at home type thing.
Stock thermostat.
Stock thermostat. You're still stuck on the stock thermostat, huh? So
just put it out there. This thing's amazing.
Yeah. So I think my goal for weight on it was to see a 3.4, whatever it ends up being. So even if it's $34.99, which would mean that it was 200 pounds less than when I bought the car, which we're right there. We're so close.
We've pulled out so much weight already.
Hopefully once it's done raining, we can sneak this down to the CAT scale and see where we're at. But we are so close. That's my goal, is to see $34.99 or right at 3,500 pounds before I sit in it, or the wife sits in it. I mean, she drove it. You guys, if you watch the live, my wife drove it too. It was her first time trying to burn out. She did great. She won 10.6s in it. So it's just a consistent car. So I think it had 11 or 12 1040 to 1060 passes on it, and one 1070.
Yep. Thanks,
CJ.
Thanks, CJ.
Shut up!
Yeah, seeing if we caught onto that. So also on top of
Mike set a record. We have a micro record that no one cares about. I believe we are the fastest Hyundai venue.
Oh yeah,
We won a 16.6 in it. The
Hyundai
fastest
venue.
we can find was a 16.7, so
so
big
2
dog
records,
status.
right?
No one cares. Back
No one
in
cares.
terms of
So
programming.
back. So the last piece of this puzzle, I am probably going to do the carbon fiber trunk.
We got it, man.
Yeah, that's easily 30 pounds right there. So that should probably tip us where we need to go. Hood, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. I'm definitely not doing doors or fenders. Going to tell you that much.
No, those are very expensive.
Yes. So
I do need to learn carbon, so I might make parts,
yeah. So
and then they'll fly off at the 100-mile-an-hour mark.
yeah.
Well, you know.
Kazi, I'll answer that question in a second. So I'll finish up with what our next steps are. So for those of you that don't know, I am pulling these heads off, and we are going to be putting Eagle 5.7 heads in place with oversized valves. What? Why would we do that? The Apache head is amazing. Why would you get rid of that? These things flow
What the
great.
frick? That's the head that everyone wants.
Oh my gosh, what are we doing? All right, guys, this is why. Chamber size. One of the big benefits of the LSs is the fact that they can get a really small chamber and still have good piston to valve tolerance. So we are going to reduce that chamber size with the 5.7 Eagle head. With that, we are putting some larger intake valves in place, some stainless exhaust valves in place. And that should, the objective of what we're waiting on right now is they are flow testing the heads. And right now we are making sure and verifying they flow the same, if not better, than the heads I have in the car now. The heads in the car were a simple port, stock valves, just with the valve springs. These have a little bit more work into it, okay? So, by the smaller chamber, we are bumping compression up. We also are changing the head gasket as well, and we are going to play with Play-Doh and verify. We did some math and tests before, and I have 2 cars now out in the wild that have this done to it already, but they aren't racers. I do know that dynographs show what I'm looking for, so they're just not racers. So Chris and I are, there's a fly.
Jesus.
Chris and I are going to be throwing these heads on our cars. So we are hoping, with all of the work that's being done, that we should see roughly we'll say over 1.5 increase in compression, 1.5 points of compression. So I would love to get as close to 13-1 as I possibly could. So that being said, when we assess what we did at the track day, those for joining later didn't see we went 1045 with the over 3,700 pound car. What I'm hoping is we eventually knock another 50 pounds out of it. The DA was almost 1,500. It was 1,460, almost 1,470 when we went 1045. It was almost 1,500 when we went 1050. So we didn't have glory air either. Our suspension, we're still working on it. All right. So I can say confidently right now that if I were to knock 1,000 feet off of that DA or more, I'm dropping down into a 10.3, if not a 10.2. Doing no other changes. As she sits right now, I do think we will get a 1.360 foot once I fix the suspension as well. So a combination of a 1.360 foot with the reduction in the DA, the car's going to go 10.2s, 10.1s as it sits. Okay. Then you bump the compression up. Yeah, I told you guys, mark my word, this car will go 9s.
Yeah.
With stock bottom end, as you see it right now.
Do we have any further plans for Test and Tune Tracks Days this year for our car, or will we be attending other events?
We will be attending other events. I'm not renting the track again.
Hey, Blake, you got any events coming up?
He just had his last one.
Oh, hey,
So-
Blake, you have a new event.
Yeah, so around our parts, the tracks stay open usually till mid-November, or at least till the first heavy snowfall. So I was talking to the guys at Byron, and they said they will drag it out as long as they can as well. So, yeah, I want to try and hit the track when it's 40 degrees out, you know, with a little bit of sun and some good prep.
The hero air, baby.
That hero air will get me into the 1020s that it is. The reduction in the 60-foot will be enough to get me to maybe the overall 392 record, and then with the bump and compression. The heads are taking a lot longer than we would hope, but
it's their busy season.
It's their busy season, and they're really making sure they do what we need them to do. It's not the type of thing where it's like, oh, we're just going to quickly machine it. They're testing, they're flowing them, they're making sure they're exactly what we need. So there are going to be a proven perfect concept that we can repeat to you as customers, okay? So, you know, that being said, that's what's next in store for her. I will go back to the track before the heads come in if I get glory air. You know what I mean? I'm going to work on the aerodynamics and the weight and stuff like that in the meantime, but I'm not going to
suspension.
Suspension too. We're going to tweak that, but problem is I know it's going to make more power, so we're going to have to adjust it that time too. So we need glory air. I need sub 500 DA, and I'll go back to reset my own record. I know she'll do it. I know she will repeat it. We proved on Friday that she will do it consistently. So that's kind of what's next in store for her.
Jeff is asking, when talking about heads, out of curiosity, are there different metals that would have weight changes that would be worth it when talking stainless valves?
Sure. Yeah, you know, so from a valve train standpoint, you can do, you know, aluminum valves to make them lighter for higher RPM. You know, it's one of those, we are not revving this thing past 7,000 RPM based on the cam profile. Again, going with the 5.7 heads provides a different challenge of piston to valve tolerance. It is worse, right? Because of the chamber being smaller and the angle the valve comes in. So we have to be very careful that our piston isn't going to smack the valve, and we're going to do a lot of measuring of that and just make sure it's safe. So generally in high revving applications, you can do hollow valves, you can do, you know, aluminum valves to really allow for, you know, super, super high RPM. But because we're not doing it, we're going for strength. That's why we did stainless on the exhaust side. The intake side, they're playing with. And we're waiting to hear exactly which one they land with it. I do know the approximate size, but we're just waiting for confirmation on that. And then it's not done. We got to pull these heads off and then throw them on, play with Play-Doh, go through some head gaskets, and verify that this cam profile will do what we need it to do with the given setup. So we've done it before. Again, we're just, this head is more aggressive than anything we've ever put on a 392, so we do want to make sure. So the last ones we did, they didn't get enlarged valves. They were just fully ported heads. And we still had a nice bump and compression, but the valve sizing is really what's necessary to maintain the flow. Compression is beneficial, but if I sacrifice too much flow, I can't get air in, and it's going to have a negative impact. So it's something we are titanium for you big horsepower guys. Absolutely. I'm trying to save a penny here. So, but yeah, in-canal exhaust valves are our usual go-to, but on this application, 3D printed. Yeah. 3D metal printing.
Yeah. You don't want to see CJ.
Yeah.
He's shaking his head no.
So that being said, that's what's next in line. Somebody asked if we did I think a dog box. What did they say?
Yes. Would a 392 manual car with a 390 diff gear and a dog box conversion on the TR6060 be quicker?
So my answer to that is no. And again, gearing is what you're forgetting about. A TR60 has 6 gears, so their gears are very long. The 8-speeds gear has 8 speeds, so their gears are a lot shorter, and because of the rear end combined with those gears, remember,
keeps you in a better power band on your shift.
Yeah, so keep in mind, transmissions are torque multipliers. That gear is a multiplier of that torque. So that is one reason why we can get a 450 or a 140 60-foot and 1.3 coming soon once we dial the suspension in. So when you have a TR6060 and you spread that gear out, you try to make up for it with the rear gear, but the TR6060 is still very far spread out. So, will it weigh less? Yes, technically it will. I can't say that it's going to be quicker. These 8 speeds are outstanding, especially the tuning we have in this thing. You can ask the guys. That thing bang the gears at high RPM. Nice
so
and firm.
good. So crisp.
Nice and smooth. Yeah, so no, I don't think that's going to be the ticket for something faster than this for what it is. If you spec your cam accordingly, maybe,
1.2 60 foot. It's coming.
Yeah.
Give us time.
That's when yeah, we'll see. Maybe that's when the turbo goes on after we take the record. So
What?
So, yeah, imagine that, guys. I'm crazy. I like turbos. If we go 980s with this car, I'm going to throw a turbo on and go 8s with the stock bottom end, and then everybody will say it's a built motor.
You can't do that. You have to have a built motor. It's only a 6.4C boost to explode.
So, that being said, guys, the big question is how much? I get guys out there throwing these ridiculous prices out there.
Had 16 million people ask us for a cost on this last night.
So, of course, that would turn on. So I'm going to wait to say the approximate price and what the promotion is. That's not what you guys would think. So, again, for those that joined late, although this car weighs 3,700 pounds, a lot of the weight we took out of it was rotating mass, which you can do on your standard street vehicle. So if we were to put the full interior back in this car, it still would go like a 10.7, 10.8 as it sits in 1,500 DA, okay? So it's not like this is a 1150 car and we stripped it down to a 1040 car. And that's one of the things we wanted to clarify there, okay? It comes down to the rotating mass. That's why I'm saying work smarter, not harder. I know that, a lot of guys go to the 15-inch in the rear, but they don't do the front. You're kind of missing out when it comes to this, right? When it comes to a power to weight ratio type thing. So, it's one of those things that, all things considered, it's still very impressive. How do I know it would run a 10.7, right? A 10.8? Chris Mitchell did it in higher DA when he weighed 300 pounds more. We have proof. We have the concept, okay? So, our level 4 package, which is on our website, and that's honestly what I'm referencing right now. See, whoop. Beautiful. Mobile version is beautiful. Everything like that has the options there.
We use the website a lot, by the way. When you guys call and ask for ballpark prices, 9 times out of 10, I'll just pull up the website as a quick reference guide. So if you want to have a general idea of pricing, website.
Yeah. So, how much does it cost? Now, the base of this package is our level 4 package, which is our cam and long tube setup, right? What I'm going to do, what do you think, through the end of the month? Should be good, right?
Yeah.
Right. We'll go through the end of the month, guys.
It's like an early Black Friday.
Maybe we're just celebrating we set the record.
Maybe.
We're celebrating. So I guess it's in your guys' benefit we didn't go deeper. What I'm going to do is I'm going to discount our level 4 package by $1,045 on top of the discount we already have on top of it.
Okay. Yeah, if we went deeper, we could only do 900. That would suck.
So, exactly, yeah, if I went faster. So, you're welcome.
Yeah.
But
You're welcome
to celebrate this, I'm going to give an addition. So you guys know, our packages on our website or our predetermined leveled package already have discounts built into them. I'm adding onto it on top of it. So we're going to add another $1,045 reduced off of the price until the end of the month to celebrate us setting the record. I truly hope this sparks something for, the community. I hope my record is destroyed in a day or two. This is when it'll happen.
If your wife is leaving the country for a month and has a Scat, you can send it in and get the work done. Save some money.
I truly hope this sparks something. I don't anticipate holding this record for long. I will continue to improve the record.
One of the best motivators of innovation is war. Think about it.
I hope to see faster Scats and 392s, even 5.7 guys. Anybody that wants to do an aggressive 5.7, let me know.
5.7?
I don't know. We can explore if somebody interested. I'm sticking with the 392 for that reason, but any 5.7 cars that want to do the same thing, let's get it done. Let's verify.
Let's use Arturo's dad's car as a test bed.
There we go.
Hey, Arturo.
I got my dad's car too. We can push it.
Okay, we're using dad's.
But we like Chargers if you haven't noticed. So Challenger would be easier, man. Imagine if this was a Challenger.
If someone has a 5.7 Challenger and wants to play,
or a 392 Challenger. I mean, me and Chris both have Chargers, so we like the 4-doors. I have kids. What can I say? So again, we're going to knock another $1,045 off of our level 4 package for the remainder of the month. To tell you, the base level 4 package, which includes parts, labor, all the hardware for tuning, installation on the same 2015 to 2017 is under 10 grand. So for those people throwing out 25 grand plus, listen. Yes, do the wheels cost more? Sure. Does the lower pulley cost more? Sure. Right? Does the race seat cost more? Sure. I don't make the parts. I can't do that. No. So to get the power, that same power level, the components around what the rest of it is, is under 10 grand. So
Do
with
keep
this
in mind the
promotion-
normal base level 4 is a 93 octane setup.
Correct.
So if you
Correct.
want the 85 factor injectors
Yeah,
in that,
injectors
but
and tuning.
we
But
can throw that in for you.
so it's to keep that in mind. To get the cam, the long tubes, you know, and basics components in place, it's under 10 grand.
Yeah.
We can get it up there if you do the wheels, do 85, do the lower.
Want us
right?
to gut your car?
But again, it's want us to gut your car, put a race seat in.
I'll buy
we
some
can
parts.
do all of it. But naturally, if there's more parts that go into it, I can't control the cost of the parts.
Yeah.
I can control the labor on a setup like this. So we will put cam and long tube headers in your car for under 10 grand for up until the end of the month. So get those deposits
Parts,
in.
installation, tuning, the whole 9 yards.
Everything. Doesn't matter. Year, make, and model. We will set that price. So it's on the website showing $995 as an example. So literally we're right there under 10 grand. So that's what we're doing through the end of the month, guys. Okay. So that's the special. This is the shop car. Are there any questions that we missed?
You pretty much got everything. I mean, what were intake air temps? I know you said it was.
Oh yeah, intake air temps were literally 65 to 70 degrees during the pulls.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the ambient air was around us. On one of the longer ones where we had to wait after we did the burnout, it got up to 75 degrees before we started. But I have data logs from cars with open filter elements with headlights in and stuff like that, where they're 150 degrees doing the hit, and then it drops 70 degrees by the time they get to half track. So
Well,
that's a lot
imagine
of
if
time
you didn't
lost.
have to start out that hot.
Yeah. Oh, also too, I did confirm. We all felt and agreed the same way. The mile an hour in that lane was down a little bit. I did confirm through multiple sources that the mile an hour was down. We were actually around 127, 128 for the mile an hour, but I'll take the low mile an hour for the ET at the same time. It just goes to show you the variables from track to track, lane to lane even. It got knocked a little bit in regards to the reading for the mile an hour. So I did confirm we were 127, 128 is where we were falling with that. So yeah, well, I'm looking for 130 as soon as we get these heads in. Who knows, with better DA, we might even be able to do it. So
I say 135, folks.
okay.
I say 135.
It's stretch goals. Stretch goals. So, quick recap for those that joined in late. We went 1045 with this Charger 392 you see behind us. Basic weight reduction, you know, full interior gut, all reversible, race seat, right? Anything on the exterior like the headlight, all that, fully reversible, nothing is permanent. We just maximized what we had. Lightweight battery, lithium battery in the trunk. The biggest benefit to this car is the weight savings. So rotating mass is huge. Remember, the benefit from that doubles and triples in regards to the output at the track. So that is where our true benefit came from there. 1045, that means 1045 off our level 4 packages to celebrate. To clarify, cam and headers can be done on any vehicle. It's not just 392s or 57s. We'll do this on your
As long as the parts
Hellcat.
are available.
We'll do this for the Hellcat. We'll do this for the Trackhawk, the TRX. This 1045 is a discount off of doing cam and long tube headers on your Gen 3
Does
Hemi.
not apply to the 3.6s.
I said Gen 3 Hemi.
Oh, okay. Missed that
Gen
part.
3 Hemi. Let me finish.
I'm sorry.
Duh. Yeah, Gen 3 Hemis, guys. We will do the 1045 off cam and long tubes to celebrate the record that we set with our little NA car. So I think that's about it. I think that's all the information.
Oh, you failed to mention for people joining late. Stock intake, manifold.
Yeah.
Stock throttle body, stock thermostat,
Stock axles.
stock axles.
Yeah.
Stock
So
water pump.
we prove you can work smarter, not harder. Less is more. Maximize your dollar. I get it. This isn't for everybody, but again, you throw in 400 or 500 pounds into the trunk or back into the interior, and you're still running 10s in normal weather DA. Okay. So
It's a stout setup.
it's, you know, for a NA setup running stock Hellcat times, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue, and it doesn't cost what it costs to be a Hellcat. Okay. So did I get to? No, I've actually seen worse, Bill. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So
You are just fine, my friend.
yeah, but I think that kind of summarizes what we're trying to do, what we're trying to cover, what we're trying to educate here. So appreciate those on the live. We will get this right onto our YouTube as well. For those that, will the manifold get ported? Good question, and we're going to verify. So that's one of those things of once we increase the compression and it's going to require more airflow and oxygen to accommodate that combustion chamber, we're going to see if we have to port it. There is a good chance, at a minimum, we're going to have to do a nice little port match to make sure that the manifold matches the heads themselves there. We might have to put a larger throttle body on at that point, but we will test and see if we see that restriction from the intake itself. So right now, most people didn't think that the stock 392 intake manifold could produce 540, 550 wheel horsepower.
Guess what? It did.
It does. Most people didn't think the stock throttle body could produce 540, 550 wheel horsepower consistently, and it does. So this is technically uncharted territory, I guess you can say, or if people know, they just kept it a secret and kept selling ported intakes and throttle bodies. I don't know. So I really don't have a yes or no answer at this point. I mean, I have this intake making 1,000 wheel horsepower in a turbo car, so it flows pretty well. But when it comes to NA, we have to maintain that velocity without the restriction, so we'll find out.
Does this mean that putting a bigger throttle body on my stock 5.7 won't make me go faster?
Absolutely not.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So
Wasted
again,
money.
velocity is just as important as volume. You need to make sure you can get the volume, but you need to get it there as fast as possible to fill that combustion chamber. So that's what we prove. Less is more. Here she is, the 1045 stock bottom end 392 record holder.
Easily drivable.
Easily drivable.
I didn't crash.
You didn't crash.
No.
Nobody crashed.
No one crashed.
So, I'm Higgins. You're joining at the end. It'll be on our YouTube. Also, for those that watch our Facebook lives on Friday, Facebook now is deleting the lives. So,
One of the whole reasons about using Facebook was easy video posting on our main page is gone.
right. And when we try to transfer it over to YouTube, the quality transfer over is horrible.
It ruins it.
We are going to be experimenting a little bit. We've tried some restream stuff like that,
We
but
might use Kick.
it mainly requires like a computer. And, you know, we do this off cell phones and the internet service that we have here. So we are going to be trying some things out the next couple of weeks for the lives. So that being said, this week it for sure will be on YouTube. So get the YouTube app downloaded. I sound like a YouTuber now, but like, follow, subscribe, whatever that is.
Hit that bell
Hit the bell.
icon.
I should get my daughters to do this because they know how to do it. We will be on YouTube this week and kind of just seeing how it will do.
It's about time for the throttle body spacer.
It might be time. It might be time.
Bill,
So-
that throttle body spacer is getting us in the nines.
Yeah,
That alone.
Yeah, so we're going to be on YouTube for sure this week. Going to try to cross-stream it. We've tried multiple phones before, but it didn't work out well. So we're just trying to get it. The big thing is there's a lot of information these that people like to see and watch later. And now that Facebook is getting rid of them, that makes it very difficult. So we lost a ton of our lives that we did.
So much content
They are hidden
gone.
memories now.
Some for the better.
Probably.
Yeah.
We had some of the ones I'm seeing that we did transfer to YouTube should probably be
What a
lost.
mistake.
Yeah, so come a long way, and we want to maintain that. Like this one, talking about the stock bottom end 392, how it was done with less. This will be on YouTube. I will do that. It will be bad, poor quality, but Friday, 12:30, check in. We'll be on YouTube.
Be there.
We'll put that reminder up, give you the links for those that don't have it. And we appreciate it. We'll update the description here with our YouTube as well. If you don't on there already, like, follow, subscribe, so that way you can get those lives there. So we'll see how it goes. What?
We should do after hours vlogging on the YouTube.
After hours vlog? You mean like a
After hours
podcast that's called Talking Shift or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Yeah,
one's
maybe
gonna take
one
it off
day.
the ground at some point.
Just one day.
Well, I mean, like a video format of like doing things versus like talking.
Oh, I guess, yeah, could do that. So,
Hey,
all right, guys.
This is how you total a car.
Thank you again. Yeah, right. Thank you again for all the questions. Thank you again for all the support. We couldn't do this without you. I have, I think, 60 emails I'm still working through. I'm getting to them, guys.
Sorry.
I lost count this morning how many went through. I appreciate your patience on it. We had a very busy last few days, last week, getting ready for the track and over the weekend. So thank you again, everybody. We are out.